And good morning, Americans. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. It's Friday. Can you believe that? Already the 15th of July. We're halfway through the month. Coming to an end of the Choctaw Indian Fair this weekend, another one in the books, which means we're really close with a week out as we get ready for the Neshoba County Fair. There'll be lots taking part of that. Always is. A lot of fun there. Vacations are coming up. Hope you enjoy yourself if you're planning that. Charlotte Gray, watching from Philadelphia as well. Pat and Jim Coker joins us from Hickory this morning. Brian McCary tells us about the Why Not Trade Day tomorrow. We posted that a few moments ago. Helps out the ball teams and all there. And why not? If you can, drop by and visit them. Mike Dallas, how are you? Also, Terry Ray is up. Good morning. Not a drop of rain where she lives yesterday. It had rain all around you. Just didn't get you, did it? Christy Skipper, good morning. I do hope your day is going well. This is like day 7. You ever misplace something and you don't go far and have no clue where it is? I've misplaced my favorite coffee cup, and I have no clue where I put it. I even checked that pesky little dishwasher, and it's not there. I don't know what I did. So the search continues for my coffee mug. It's my wife. I'm telling you, she's hid it because I liked it. Good morning. We got a lot to talk about today of what's going on in and around in our area. A lot of arrests have been made the last few days and the last few hours. And also, we'll tell you what's happening in the state and a peek at what's going on around the nation for the next 30 minutes. That's what we're going to do today. Debbie will join us in just a little bit as we get ready for the morning. She'll be beginning at 8. Candace still on vacation. Let's take a quick look at radar this morning as we get our day started so you'll kind of know where it is. All looks great here in the great state of Mississippi. Look at this. We're not bad at all as we look at this. Nothing going on here. We did have a little bit of wind and rain at West Point last night, but all good across the state. We do have some fog here that's developing in southern Alabama, that around Evergreen, Frisco, Monroeville, that area there, and also around Troy and Montgomery getting a little bit, and LaGrange, Georgia. Now, we've got plenty of rain down here in the Chattahoochee, these areas here around Panama City and out in the Gulf. Nothing major, but we do have showers there. That's that little bit of a disturbance that we were watching to make sure it didn't turn into anything else. We get up here off the East Coast, we got showers as well. Nothing major, nothing bad. A few showers there in the Carolinas. And a lot of fog, again, Charleston, West Virginia, those areas today. As we move up, we do have a lot of showers up here in Wisconsin this morning. Illinois on up into Wisconsin, these areas here today. Heavier rain, that's some of the worst that we've got there. Fog up in the Dakotas and out on the West Coast. Nothing bad as we move down and we get back down toward Arizona and Texas. And the heat, not as bad as it has been. More so in Oklahoma today and Wichita. Those areas there, Omaha getting a little bit of the heat wave. We'll look at all of that in a moment, break it down for you so you'll know what's coming this week when it comes to all of this heat wave over the weekend. All right, let's go to see what we've got that's gone on over the last few days. We mentioned yesterday morning that a truck was stolen. The Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department, let's pull this up where everybody can take a look at this. The Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department has went above and beyond, and this truck has been returned to its owner. They were fingerprinting it yesterday, the last I talked to them, and doing a quick scan of this of who may have been in the pickup truck. But this was taken right off Highway 39. Yesterday, day before yesterday, about 1 a.m. And this morning at 8 o'clock, make sure to join us because we're going to go through this. We're going to break down that video. There's a video of how this truck was stolen. And it's the exact way that is taken from every neighborhood that these cars have been hit lately. And there is a huge spike. It's very hard for me to track when it comes to stolen vehicles. You have to pinpoint the police department, and they go on each individual car. Yes, this car has been stolen. Sometimes people seem to think they've been stolen, and a repossession has happened. I see that a lot. Sometimes people misplace their cars. There's no misplacing this one. They knew exactly where it was and had video of it. But a lot of times, reports are not always right. Maybe a family member took it and didn't tell somebody. They're hard to track, but we have a ton of cars stolen each and every day right here in our area. It's constant, and it's always trying to get the information correct, trying to stay on that. The best way to handle this is to make sure that you've got your car keys inside every night. Don't leave it unlocked. We'll tell you about somebody that the Sheriff's Department has arrested also, or not necessarily arrested, but they're looking for. All these break-ins in cars. They're on the lookout for somebody. These are some of the most common crimes that we've got here. Over and over and over they do this. Don't be a victim. Y'all know how this works after you get your car back. It's never the same. They didn't treat it right. They've driven it hard, mistreated it to where you probably, you're paying for it. You treat it nicely. You know what I mean. Let's see what else we've got. As we look across here, this is where the truck was recovered. Let me show you this. This is 8th Street right here. Remember AutoZone? Remember right there? Right back here last week was that scene of that shooting. Right in there. Due north of here, here's 8th Street. Just due north of there, back here on 9th Street is where the truck was recovered, right along in here. That's where they drove it to. That's where it was found parked. Now, normally, what goes on with this, they'll steal a vehicle and leave it there for 3 or 4 days, and then if no one finds it, they come back and use it for another crime. That's typically what goes on with these cars that are stolen. Also, we'll get into this morning. I want you to join us at 8 as we'll do the breakdown. And y'all heard about this as we talk about these stolen cars right here. Good job to the Meridian Police Department, also the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department involved in this takedown. The Meridian Police Department had also another car that was listed as stolen. They pulled it over. There's a gentleman that may have been, I've gotten different reports, that may have been dressed as a lady in disguise. And when the police walked back to run the tag and all, he jumped out and ran. And it was a foot chase. It involved a lot of people. So if you were anywhere on South Frontage Road yesterday, just south of Walmart, down around where Nelson Hall Chevrolet is, GameStop, that entire area in between Walmart and South Frontage Road where the train tracks are. And we all know there's a lot of homeless that live in that area. But it was a foot chase through the bushes. And in the end, the officers were able to take him into custody. And we're going to show that this morning. That is just one of many, many, many people. I spoke to a family member of the car that he was driving, and they were very thankful to get their car back. It's not theirs. They take what they want. Aren't y'all tired of that? And when I say they, I'm talking about thieves. Just sad, sad, sad what goes on. Thieves want to take what you work hard to get all the time. We're sick of it. I know you are. We'll talk more about that this morning. Also, this was the scene of one of the wrecks that we have. Always be careful if you're out and about in the Meridian area. If you live in Louisville, if you live in Scuba and you watch maybe Quitman, if you come to Meridian and you go near Highway 39, you're going to go up. You're going out that way for any reason. Always be careful around Dairy Queen where BMW is. Right here. This is why. It's constantly a wreck right there of someone trying to cross there to get across the road there. And as you see, it didn't happen. They were struck. Almost daily, there's 2 locations there on Highway 39. There's 3. Let's go ahead and back that up. Right up by the Coin Laundry is another place, half a mile from there. And then the intersection of Highway 39. Always someone not paying attention there at 39 and North Hill Street and think the light is green, or they're looking off and they drive right out into traffic and wrecks happen. Always be on your P's and Q's when you pass through those areas there. You can almost bet there's going to be a wreck. As we go back to North Hill Street, well, happened there also yesterday afternoon as we see another wreck right there in between the Chevron and McDonald's. Whether you're trying to get out from the bank on the right side of the road or cross lanes. Fender benders happen. Sometimes it's best to take a right instead of trying to cross several lanes and do a U-turn down the road somewhere. Okay, you knew to do that. I'm just telling you what I do sometimes. As I mentioned, the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department has a warrant out. Matter of fact, they got 5. Let me show you some pictures here. This gentleman is who the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department is looking for, Joshua McLemore. He's currently already out on bond for motor vehicle theft from May of 22. That was just a few months back. Now there are currently 5 outstanding warrants for auto burglary based on evidence that they've gotten from the Collinsville area. Y'all live out in Collinsville? Anybody watching from there? You had your car broke into? things taken. This is one of the suspects there. They've gathered evidence, and I would go out on a limb to guess here that they've got fingerprints and probably some video to tie him to that. Again, you are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. There's a warrant out. We'll see how that turns out. We'll pass that information along to you as soon as we get that. We had a report of somebody last night that was laying in the road. That's never good, is it? As we go here and we take a look here, this would be down by Animal Control. Here's Norman Roofing. This would be north of Magnolia Beverage, back in here. In the end, it turned out a guy fell off his bicycle, broke his arm, I think. Somebody come along, call the popo, and they got a little help there. Never good to lay in a road. We do see that more. Now, we've had that reported once or twice this week. Another time was up by the mall, somebody laying out in the road. We've seen it on North Hill Street around 1 or 2 a.m. If you ever travel roads, it's more and more we're seeing this. Now, sometimes it's a fall. Sometimes it's, induced from liquor or maybe drugs. We know that. People fall out and they pass out and right in the middle of the road, right where they were. And if you were to come along, it would be something that you would never, ever be able to shake. It'd be forever in your mind if you were to bump into somebody that was laying in the road. Just watch out. It's more and more drug use every day. We all know that. I'm not telling you anything. The look is still on. They're still searching. I know you've heard this about the Ole Miss student that come up missing. The father of the man that is missing is pleading for help. They found the car is all they know at this point. They've done fingerprinting. They're trying to figure out what is going on. Been missing for quite some time now. Hate these things, and we hope it has a good ending to it. We don't know. We'll let you know as that story develops. It's been several days now. I guess you would call this, and I think I'm right on this, of a white-collar crime. That's what we'll call this. And a Jackson attorney has pleaded guilty to timber fraud. Had a scheme going. He's pleaded guilty. He'll serve some time over this. John Darrell Seawright, 50, out of Jackson, stood before the U.S. Judge, got what was coming to him. They're going to be charging him with conspiracy to commit wire fraud as well. There's all types of crime. You don't necessarily have to break in somewhere. Pieces of paper can be just as big a crime. Bernie Madoff, y'all remember those names. It's just as bad as somebody that goes into a Dollar General and holds a gun on somebody. A lot of times people's pensions are ruined, their lives are ruined, all because people in greed. Not telling you anything you don't know. Jackson, Mississippi, they're looking for an arsonist. This time it's a woman. They don't know her name. They've gotten a little bit of video of her, and she set 2 cars on fire so far. It's just downright mean, isn't it? Andy Gibson, a lot of you may not know that name. He's our agricultural commissioner. He's urging everybody to buy from our Mississippi farmers, your local farmers. Of course, we got a farmer's market here. If you've got a grocery store, do as much as you can buy from the farmers, put it on your shelves. They work hard to get where they are. So we do hope that. He had a video released yesterday. The audio was just a little too rough to carry. You couldn't hear it. It's the only reason that I didn't carry that. Andy Gibson. We go up to North Mississippi, right at the state line. As you can get as close to Memphis as you can. You don't hear of this often. But we've all gone in a Walmart, haven't we? You know how they have that little section where you can cash your check? Well, it was robbed. They had to shut down Walmart there for a moment. At Horn Lake is where that happened. Got away with an undetermined amount of cash. Police are looking for him. That doesn't happen often. As things keep going, I guess they keep a little bit of cash there to cash checks, but as y'all all know, most businesses, it just doesn't carry the cash it used to. Most people use cards nowadays. Most, not all, but most. This is pretty big for the state of Mississippi. I'm not sure how popular they are, but it is coming to the state now. Tulsa is announcing the grand opening of a dealership in Jackson, actually in Brandon, Mississippi. So if you've always been wanting a Tulsa and wanting to plug up a car and charge it, that's where you need to go. Our first one there. Midterms are not far off. We know that as we watch this, and they're doing their best to make sure there's not going to be any fraud committed. Let's hope there's not. I even saw pictures yesterday. Maybe you've seen this too of the Trump plane getting a new paint job in Louisiana. It's been completely rebuilt there. Hasn't announced that he's running for president. But if I were betting, that's where I would go. And as we all know, and I'm sure you've seen this, it's been nothing but the news for the last 24 hours. Maybe not quite 24 yet, but at least from late yesterday afternoon, the former president's first wife, Ivana, mother of 3 of his children, she's passed away at the age of 73. She was found at the bottom of a staircase. Some say it possibly could have been a heart attack. Condolences to all the family members on that. As we go down to Brookhaven, the police chief there, and I won't use the exact wording that he used, but there was a murder there, and he's asking for the community's help there in Brookhaven, and the way he put it, he didn't need heck raising. I'll word it that way. He needed prayers to help him solve problems. A little heaven lifting, I think, is how he put it. And they do need that. A murder that shouldn't have never happened, and he's trying to solve it. And he said he didn't need people just raising Cain to be raising Cain. Help him out, solve it, and everything would be better. I agree with that. Bassville, Mississippi. Anybody know where that is? It'll be kind of northwest of the Hattiesburg area. The oldest home in that little town has burned down. Lightning struck it. 130-year-old structure. I think it was a bed and breakfast type thing now. Maybe they used it for something else. But it was struck by lightning a few days ago and burned to the ground. Completely gone. We always hate to see that. Things are heating up. I've touched on this once or twice over Tesla. I said it wrong, didn't I? It's got a Z in it. Tesla. Tesla. You knew where I was going with that. But I've touched on this next story several times as we watch the welfare scheme in the state of Mississippi. The largest ever. Shad White and his gang brought that to light. It had Brett Favre's name in it. We're getting a lot more names now, as we mentioned yesterday, former Governor Phil Bryant. Now, we found out more what's coming up. They have subpoenaed University of Southern Mississippi Athletics Department communications with the governor's office. That would include Phil Bryant and his wife. This is where it gets sticky, and I didn't know this. Now, this is welfare money that's supposed to be set aside to help the citizens of the state of Mississippi that need help. We've seen hard times. Good people sometimes end up needing help. You can lose your job. I don't care who you are. If you owe bills, you own a car or a house, within 6 months, everything that you've worked for all your life can disappear. As they say, that truck will come and take away the things that you've got. If you can't find a job, sometimes it takes longer than 6 months to get a job, but it doesn't take long. It's not like all of us are sitting on tons of money and you can just live off savings all your life. It doesn't work that way. The average person has enough to make it maybe 6 months before things go bad. But they took the money that's set aside for those people that are in need in Mississippi and misused it. This is what gets interesting. $5 million, as we dig deeper into this, was used toward a volleyball court at USM in some shape, form, or way. I don't know all the details, but I've glanced all across this, and it hasn't. It looks like they're going to get deeper into this. This hasn't been brought up, but $5 million at USM. What's going to become of this? They're after something. Communication. Why would we use welfare funds at a university to build a volleyball court? I think a lot of Mississippians are going to want to know that. We'll find out. How many of you get up every day and think, well, let me go buy Chick-fil-A? Nationwide, that's done. We all know everybody's bragged on the service and the kindness that are given at each and every Chick-fil-A. A unique thing, no matter where you go in the United States, you're pretty much treated the same way. As we find out, they've come up with a top 10 list of who eats the most chicken biscuits in the morning. Believe it or not, out of the top 10, Mississippi gets 2 of the nods of the most chicken biscuits sold nationwide. Jackson, Tennessee came in at 1. Atlanta is number 2. Memphis is 3. And it goes on and on. You get to number 8, Jackson, Mississippi sells. And then Columbus, Mississippi, winding out the top 10 of eating the most biscuits nationwide when it comes to sales of Chick-fil-A biscuits. I thought that was interesting. State of Mississippi right there at the top on something. Interesting, isn't it? Do y'all remember the guy, maybe you do, maybe you don't, back in the 70s, there was a thing called Studio 54. This guy made news last week because he, in other countries, y'all remember Dr. Kevorkian in the United States that used to assist people with suicide. He went to jail over that. In the Sweden, that's not illegal. They've got a clinic where you can check in. Well, this guy went and done this. Kind of contradicts what they say here. He's an atheist all of his life. He checked into this, and he has now passed away because he did the assisted. But his family is saying there are moments within a week or two of his death, he found religion and found God at the end before he passed away. But he took his own life. This is where I don't know the answers. I don't know everything about religion, and I really don't know. But suicide, that's the body, the temple. Again, I don't know the answer to that. If you're in your right mind, it seems that would be a no-no. Now, I understand the argument if you've got some mental issues and didn't know what you were doing. But I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Something to ponder on. But they say he found religion at the end. Wasn't it Tom T. Hall that said that? He found religion at the end, and I'm glad that he did. I got your forecast next. We'll dig deeper into this. That's a few of the headlines that's shaping America this morning. Glad you joined me to listen to that, and we're going to check your forecast next here to see what all's going on. The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville is passing along these great savings this week. California strawberries, 2 for $5. Fresh peaches, $1.99 a pound. Vidalia onions, a 3-pound bag, only $3.99. Heinz tomato ketchup, 32-ounce, $3.49. Boneless whole pork loin, $1.79 a pound. And boneless center-cut pork chops family pack, $2.49 a pound.
And we're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
Rockhouse Gun & Pawn is having a 10-year anniversary celebration blowout. Absolutely no sales tax on used firearms. 25% off all gun cleaning and gun care accessories. And a free box of ammo with every purchase of a new Glock pistol. 50% off all pawn electronics. 50% off on pawn tools. 25% off on all jewelry. Huge markdowns throughout the store. It's the Rockhouse 10-year anniversary celebration blowout. 5430 Highway 19 North. Okay, now I got Debbie on me for mispronouncing Tesla. I'm going to work on that. Y'all work with me on my language. It's pure Southern. Yeah. I'm working on it, though, truthfully. Good morning to you. 71 right now. Let's get closer into the forecast to find out how your day is going to be.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Our record highs, record lows was set back in 2000 on this date. This was, 22 years ago? It was 105 on this day. I was a lot younger fella back then, wasn't I? 1967, it was a record low of 55 set on this date. A nice cool day back then. As we look at the forecast for today, this is what we've got, 92 for today. Now, the chance of showers is greater south of Meridian, around Laurel, Hattiesburg, all the way to the Mississippi Gulf Coast, a higher chance. The Meridian area on up through Philadelphia, you're looking at about a 30% chance of rain in these areas here. But we'll hold the whole temperature from 92 up through Louisville. As we get toward Columbus, Starkville, we'll get to about 95. Natchez, 91 today. Across those state lines, we're looking for 92 in Demopolis, the same also as we go over to Livingston. We'll get 90 in Canton, just south of Birmingham, and Montgomery gets 92 today as well. We look for this heat index. What's going to happen over the weekend? We're going to be right at 100 today. 99, 100 was the last that I checked. Jackson, right there at Brandon, west, looks like we'll get that 105 over the weekend. They're not mentioning east of there, Scott County and all of this area on the eastern side of Lauderdale, of East Mississippi. We'll watch it. Again, it's Mother Nature. I wouldn't doubt one bit that we wake up or later in the afternoon. They've changed this to further across the state. But each day from 11 until 7, watch your temperatures outside. This is what we've got coming. It's not any better. Look at Texas. It's going to make its way right in here, and these temperatures will shoot back up. It's going to be warm. It will be. As we look at the 7-day forecast, this is what we've got from the National Weather Service as we dig deeper into the forecast. 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms today. Most likely this will fall in the afternoon after 1 o'clock. 92 for a high at the most, 90 in some areas. As we get into tonight, A cloudy sky, no rain mentioned, low about 72. We get a smidgen of a chance tomorrow. 20% chance, patchy fog before 8 a.m. Between 8 and 9, it should start burning off tomorrow morning. So if you've got plans tomorrow, make sure to do that. Our heat index on Saturday, 99 to 100. As we turn to Sunday, pretty much the same. A slight chance of showers there also. And we'll get thunderstorms. This one will catch you there as you're getting ready to go into church. Around 11 a.m. is when we're expecting those slight chances of rain there. So you could carry an umbrella with you to church. 40% chance of rain back on Monday, down to a 30% Tuesday, and hit and miss showers for the rest of the week there. Thursday, we're looking at a 40% chance. As we move on and look at the rest of the week, all the way through the 28th, a 2-week outlook. Mid-90s is what we're looking at with chances of rain each one of those days. We'll see if all that starts to fade away or not. All right, let's look at the tropics. Absolutely nothing happening right now in the Gulf of Mexico and Atlantic. We're looking good on this. I'm shocked we're this far into July and not had any issues, but that's good news. Let's look at our fishing forecast for today. Coming in from Chet's Paint and Body, it looks like it'll have a major time a little bit later on there this afternoon, about 3 o'clock. 3 until, say, 5:30, around in there. So if you're looking to go fishing today, late in the afternoon after work is the time to do that. Getting a lot of this Tesla. I'm working on it. Christy, thank you. I'll get there eventually. Good morning, Joyce Gressick. Glad to see you watching as well. As I mentioned, we want you to come back and join us in roughly an hour from now, about an hour and 3 minutes. We'll be back live. Candace still out on vacation as Debbie joins me. Scotty Ray and Debbie, make sure to be a part of that as we bring you the headlines that shaped our area for the last 24 hours. Be a part of it. It'll all be right here. We'll be on Facebook along with YouTube. Also, we're going to throw in some television for you, too. If you want to watch it on television, Fox 30. Be there live. It's an hour. You'll have fun. We will as well. Love your comments. We can't do it without you, and share it. We'll see you here in just a little while as we get ready for this Friday to end the week, winding down the Choctaw Indian Fair already. Just before 7 o'clock. Y'all be careful this morning. We'll see you in just a few.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: